guys, today we're learning about reference angles. Do you guys, alright, do you remember where sine was positive at?
Sine is positive on the top.
Right.
Yes.
It's based on the y values. Cosine is positive here and here. So it turns out that all these angles that I drew right here, sine of those angles always comes out to be the same. So this 20 degrees is the reference angle for these other three angles. Reference angle. You guys, so this one right here, it's 20 degrees off of 180. So really this angle is 160 degrees. Okay, so I'm just showing that it's 20 degrees away from the 180 line. Okay, this angle is also 20 degrees from 180, but it's 20 degrees past 180.
So it's 200.
So it's 200.
Quick math.
Good job, Reed.
And this one is 20 degrees short of 360. So what would it be?
340.
340.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the sine of 20 equals the sine of 160, equals the sine of 200, equals the sine of 340. And you could keep going. Like if I did 160 plus 360, which would be like 520, but sine of 520 would be the same as that. Does that make sense?
Whoa.
Anyway, I said something that was a little bit not true earlier. I said they were all the same. But actually, sine is going to be negative down here. So if they said sine of 200, you know how sine's negative down here? That's actually equal to negative sine of 20. So you can still use the reference angle of 20, but just know that sine is negative. Or sine of 340 would equal negative sine of 20. Okay, so basically the reference angle is how far is it away from 0. So it can be matched in any of the 4 quadrants. How far is it away from 0 going this way, or 360 going this way? It could be negative 20. Here, put it this way. Sine of negative 20 degrees equals negative sine of 20. Because they're the same reference, have the same reference, but sine is negative down here. Does that make sense?
Can you try and explain it again?
Yeah. Let's do a fresh batch with cosine. What angle do we use? Let's say 40. We'll say this is 40 degrees. Cosine of 40 degrees. Where is cosine positive at?
The right hand side.
Yeah, over here, these two. Okay. Cosine of 40 is going to be the same as cosine of, guess what this is?
120.
It's 40 short of 180. This is 180 right here.
Yeah.
This is 40 short of 180.
140.
So it's 140. But cosine would be negative in this quadrant, right? So, anyway, cosine of 140 is going to equal negative cosine of 40.
Okay.
Now, we could plug that in the calculator and prove it's true, but I'm just telling you it is.
I don't get that part.
Okay, you don't get how we found 140?
I get how we found 140, but I don't.
It's just a pattern that works. I don't know how to say it better. The value, remember how okay, I'll try. Remember how the value of like cosine is based on the x value?
Yeah.
So at these 2 points, like the x value is the same.
Yeah. So the
It
point
just comes out the same. And it'll also come out the same here. 40 past 180 would be 220. So I could say cosine of 220 is also equal to negative cosine of 40.
You said not to do this with the weird form.
Weird form? Oh, pi.
Radian. Yeah,
Radians.
it's radians, yeah.
Yeah, it's harder.
Oh, no.
Okay, so what would this angle in this quadrant be? That's the same as 40, basically.
340.
Right, 40, it's 40 short of 360, so it's 320. So since cosine is positive here and here, these two would be the exact same. So if you got your calculator out, you plugged in cosine 320 equals, plug in cosine 40 equals, it's going to be the exact same thing. I don't know what it is because it's a weird.
So how did you get from
decimal,
140 to 220?
Okay, 140 is 40 short of 180.
Okay, so are you talking about,
220 is 40 past 180.
okay,
320 is 40 short of 360.
okay,
So all these angles basically give you the same thing on sine or cosine, except for these two are negative on cosine, and these two are positive.
oh,
And on sine, if we use sine, we get the same thing. These two are the same on sine, 40 and 140. These two are negative on sine. As that part we talked about yesterday, the negative positive thing.
Wait, are you saying
For sine.
220 is the same as 320?
Well, cosine of 220 is the same as cosine of 320.
Well, isn't it 320? 320 is less than, it's 40 less, right?
These are not the same.
Oh, where are the same?
When you plug in cosine of those two things, you'll get the same thing. Actually, this one will be positive, this will be negative. Sine of both of these would be exactly the same, because sine is negative in both of these.
Okay.
But you can try it now if you want to, like plug them both in. It's basically, whatever angle is in this first quadrant, this is the reference angle.
okay.
And that's how far it's going to be from 180 in the second quadrant, how far is it from 180 in the third quadrant, and how far is it from 360 in the fourth quadrant.
Gotcha.
We'll practice some more. I mean, we're not done yet, but that's basically the lesson. Well, the first half. That's the first half. The other stuff's easy peasy. You guys are gonna get some easy ones today. It's calculator work. 'Cause Brady
Calculator?
Brady just woke up, folks.
Here, run the list like that.
Is it 272?
No, that was the last one. Page 279. I think this is 2-day. This will be like 1 through 18. 1 through 4 takes a little bit of work, and then
Brady, you should give me a piece of paper.
To what?
Reading. It smells like curtains here. Here you go.
I thought it. Thank you, senor.
okay.
Did you say it was a two-day?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like today we'll just do like 1 through 10.
Aren't that tired?
Yeah.
All right, but each problem, just like normal, has like 4 questions on it.
That's
So.
annoying.
But 1 through 4 is the only one that we actually have to think on. The other ones are kind of
what did you say?
easy peasy.
I love it when I have to think.
Yeah,
I'm good at that, you know?
What page are we on, third?
it's like Brady, you were born for it. All right, 279. I will draw. You don't really have to draw a picture, but I will draw a picture just to kind of help us think about it a little bit. Probably helps. So on 1A, it says express each of the following in terms of a reference angle. So on 1A, where is 128 degrees at?
Right there.
Yeah, it's, well, here's 180, here's 90, right? So somewhere, you don't have to have a perfect picture. But basically, if this is 128 right here, from there to there, the reference angle is going to be this thing right here. So, right, it's the difference between 180 and 28,
Wow.
which is 52. So the reference angle is 52. Here's the only thing, is we're doing sine on number 1A. Is sine positive here?
Yes.
Yes. So I'm not going to put a negative basically. So it's just sine of 52 degrees is the answer.
Let's go.
Are you feeling it now?
No.
You're starting to get it? Okay, and Brady,
Can
you can help me with this
explain
one.
that one more
Yes.
time? I'm sorry.
Okay, it said 128. I asked where to look that at. It's right about somewhere in here. It doesn't really matter exactly where. But if this is 128, the reference angle is this thing down here,
Okay.
which is basically the difference between 180 and 128.
Oh.
52. So if I drew out the reference angle, it would look kind of like, you know, symmetrical. It would look like that. But anyway, whatever the sine of 128 is going to be the exact same thing as the sine of 52. So our answer is sine of 52.
Okay.
Alright, I got you with the
Starting to feel it?
cosine.
Okay.
It's getting there. I feel like it's.
Looks like the first two are kind of similar. So,
I got this one. I got this one.
alright,
Alright, 128.
yes.
Yes. So that's the same spot.
Same spot,
So it would
same
be.
gap.
So it'd be cosine 52.
Okay.
Negative.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because the positives are on the right and the
Yeah.
cosine. I don't remember that.
Yeah, you guys remember that from yesterday? Cosines are negative over here, so we gotta put negative cosine 52.
Can I get the next one?
Sine.
I was scammed.
Why are you standing?
Because it was the same angle. Yeah, next one's a negative angle.
Can I try it?
No, Jackson, no. Okay.
Well, you can try D, how about that? So,
Oh man.
this one's kind of a trick question because it's a negative angle.
It goes backwards.
Right,
So 360 is on the left, way over here on the left. So 90 is on the bottom.
no, 0 and 360 are both right here.
So it's to the right, like bottom, down,
Yeah,
right? Yes.
right here.
Yes. Okay. So the reference angle is the other thing.
So what's this
Wait.
angle right here gonna be?
90 minus 37.
Okay,
only be 37.
yeah, it's,
So that means
okay, yeah. So Brady, you said 9, or, yeah. This gap right here is the reference angle, and on this one it is 37 degrees. If you're going backwards 37, that would basically be the reference angle.
So would it be sine is
It's positive, right?
37?
Sine 37?
Is,
Oh, it's
are we doing sine or cosine?
Sine.
Is sine positive or negative down here?
Positive.
Negative.
So the answer is the statement. Oh, okay.
you just move the negative.
Well, yeah.
I was scammed.
That doesn't always happen. Like, if it said sine of negative 100 degrees, that wouldn't work. It would be a little more complicated than that. But if it's in the fourth quadrant, yeah, it's kind of going to end up like that. Yeah, that's what I
So how
said.
do you do ones that are like over that?
Okay, on D it's 500.
But you subtract 360.
If we subtract 360, we can think of it like where is it on the first rotation, basically.
240.
That's
140.
140. 140. So 500 minus 360 is 140. So 500 degree rotation is basically the same thing. Whoa. Same thing as a 140 rotation. Where is 140 at?
In the second quarter.
Yeah, it's basically it's 40 short.
So would it be
So it's
cosine
180.
negative,
Oh,
or negative
180.
cosine 40?
Yeah. So 40 is the reference angle. Is cosine positive or negative in that quadrant? Negative. So it's negative cosine of 40.
Okay, I'm cruising now. A little bit. I'm out of the driveway.
On a
I'm onto the country
Sunday
roads.
afternoon.
I hit the garage.
Did we get that one?
I've got this.
Did we get that 140?
You have to put it in
Because
reverse, Brady.
Okay, because they gave us 500, but that's
Oh,
to help us think about it, we just subtracted 360. Because a 500 degree rotation is the same as, if you subtract 360, it's going to end at that same spot. Like these are basically the same. They both stop right here at 140.
That's
alright.
So the reference angle is still 40, right there. Okay, number 3. What quadrant would 224.5 degrees be in?
in the third quadrant.
right, it's past 180, so it would be all the way down here, somewhere. This is 270, so it's not that far. This is 180, it's past that. Okay, the reference angle is right here.
And it's negative.
No, it's, well, no, the angle's not negative.
Well, it will be negative, right?
No.
Oh my god.
Okay, so how do we find this angle right here?
180 or 224.5
Yeah. If this is 224.5, this is 180, then this would be the gap between those two. To do 224.5 minus 180,
60.
Hey, Issa, can you tell me what that is?
44.5.
Is that not negative 44.5 though? Because it's in.
Issa, would you like a calculator?
No, no.
Bad. No.
Hey, she struck first.
Really? She did something to you?
Yeah, she stole my Pepsi.
Is it true?
Yeah.
Is this true, Issa?
Shame on you, Issa.
Just smile. I don't know what that
It reminds
means.
me of Pablo.
Man, Issa is like the perfect person to prank stuff on.
Did you kill this man?
It's funny because Drew stole Pepsi.
Oh, she wasn't ratting Drew out.
Yeah,
Definitely.
This is a
Issa never stick up for Drew. That's rule number
No.
one.
She's my homie.
So it is sine negative.
Okay, I forgot what we're doing. Sine?
Yeah,
Is
it was
that not-
negative.
No, it's cosine.
It is negative, like I was saying.
Cosine.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, cosine is negative.
I got this here, bro.
Y'all haters were doubting me.
Y'all haters were doubting me.
That was your.
I
Excellent.
haven't been putting with the degree symbol, and I'm gonna be upset if you start counting this wrong.
Wait, do we have to?
At least they were nice to us and didn't give us the radians.
They did?
No, these are all degrees.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. They knew we couldn't handle the radians. Okay, so on B,
658 minus 360.
658 minus 360.
It's 298.
Okay, where would 298 degrees be?
Fourth quarter.
Fourth. Yeah, it's past 270, not to 260. Oh boy.
And it's positive.
It's positive.
I got my paper now.
Get your paper out.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. How do I find the
Use-
reference angle?
use-
Right
360 minus 298.
here? Yeah.
Issa?
62.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. Reference angle 62 is.
It's
Are we doing
positive. So
sine? We doing
Cosine. So it's just
still?
cosine 62, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
cosine is positive over there, so positive cosine 62.
I don't understand the principle, but I get it.
Yeah, that'll probably be okay for this. It's hard.
Try it in a bed and start doing number 2 while we're still working.
No.
Yeah.
Dude,
No.
you're gonna get lost.
Then when you'll be like, what was the answer number 3? And then it'll be. All right, sine of 145.7. Where's 145 at?
It's in
Second quadrant. So, over here somewhere. 145.7. So the reference angle is right here. How do I find it?
180.
180 minus that.
145.7 equals 34.3. And this
Alright.
is sine, so it's
Just sine positive or negative over here?
sine positive.
Positive. Sine of 30.3.
34.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, you said 30. Oh,
I just didn't say 4 very low.
I apologize for raising my voice. I thought you were leading people. What?
No, you got one more. Negative 201.
Negative 2.
Where is negative 201? I don't wanna.
I don't like the negatives.
It'll be in the
Okay.
third one, right?
Well, Brady, this will help. Do you know where negative 90 is?
Bottom,
Yeah. Do you know where negative 180 is?
right,
No.
Left.
left.
Right there. So 180 is a half a turn this way, right?
Right.
So negative 180 ends at the same spot. So if
Okay.
you go negative 201, about right there.
Okay. That does help us.
So it's the same as normal, but you're just going in reverse.
And sign is positive over there.
Okay, hold on, we haven't done that.
Oh.
How can I find where that's at?
What do you mean?
Like what? I mean, what's the reference?
360 minus 201.
No.
Oh,
180.
Yeah, more like 201 minus 180. That'll give us the gap.
Wait, why do we do 201 minus 180? Like which?
Oh, if it's in these two quadrants, the reference angle is how far is it from 180?
Oh,
On the first quadrant, well, that is the reference angle. In the second and the fourth quadrant, how far is it from 360?
okay.
Or 0. 21. And if it's sine, that's going to be positive. If it's cosine, it'll be negative. So it's positive. So sine of 21. Okay, you guys have your calculators?
Yeah.
No.
Number 5. Not a graphing calculator, just
Just
a...
stole my calculator.
Wait, why would you still back this calculator?
She's just a troublemaker, I guess.
Dang.
Can't trust nobody.
She's a bad influence. You guys need to keep your distance. All right, number 5. Use a calculator or table. I think there's a table somewhere in this book that does all the trig functions. I don't know what page it's on. Probably says it in the... Anyway, we don't need it. Doesn't matter. That's kind of brainless work, 5 through 10. You're just plugging stuff in.
Oh, you do literally just plug it in and hit the equals button?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Brady, this is right up your alley. Brady, it's calculator time.
It says round to 4 decimal places. So let's just do like the first, let's do number 5 just to make sure you guys know what you're doing. By the way, calculators can be set to radians, like to do angles and radians.
Absolutely not.
The default should be degrees. But later on, if we put the calculator in radians and then you try to plug in degrees, you're going to get weird answers. So if your calculator is giving you funky answers, you need to go to like settings and put it back into degrees.
Hey Josh, what'd you get on the 5A?
Wait, is it point
4,
4, 6, 9?
5.
Got to round the 4th decimal place.
We're 20.
Yeah, 5A is 0.4695. Actually, number 9 is radians, so we're going to have to figure out the calculator.
Wait, why is 9 radians?
Because it doesn't say degrees, so it's radians.
Okay, can we like work on our own to 8
Well,
and do
then,
9 and 10?
so
Just leave a space and we'll do 9.
So would 5D,
And 6C.
5D and
Oh, is it?
6C and D.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry, I didn't see that. Okay, do you guys plug in B yet?
Yeah. 0.7139.
0.7193.
That was B.
That's what I meant.
Brady, I thought this was your specialty.
It is. I was just behind.
Kiki.
You
65.
allowed me. Are you writing?
0.9085.
What was that?
No, that wasn't one of them.
What?
Did you put in cosine?
Oh, I put in the sign.
This is really not your specialty.
Whoopsies.
How did you?
Brady did a whoopsie?
How
I
did
did a whoopsie.
Just a second. You're wait. All right, did you guys get C?
Yeah.
I got 0.417.
0.4179.
Josh, yeah, I got 0.00.
Okay.
0.0086. It's in scientific notation. So yeah,
Does everybody have Casios? Does everybody have Casio right
I
now?
have a T136.
Okay. It's going to be similar to what I'm about to say, but so 5D says 0.49, does not say 0.49 degrees. That tells me it's in radians.
Oh, never mind.
So when we plug it in the calculator, we need to make sure our calculator is set to radians. It has a radians and degree setting. So I'm going to hit the mode button, which is up here.
Mhm.
I think it's, it might be in, hold on, it might be in setup actually. I always forget. Yeah. So I hit setup, which means I hit shift mode.
Uh-huh.
And then it says option 3 is degrees, option 4 is radians. So what am I gonna push, class?
Degrees.
4. Okay, now it's set up to do D. Did you
Wait,
find it?
mine's engineering.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's also.
Do we have to switch it back after this?
Yeah, after you do this, or you might do all the degrees at one time and then go back and do all the radians at once.
Mine is
Oh.
engineer set.
Press 2
I got it.
and then press 2 again.
Wait.
So go.
2.
Yeah, it should say radian after you press. Yeah.
I got you, fame.
Okay, so everybody plug in D and let's see if we get it right.
0.4706.
Yeah,
Point
that's
four
what
seven.
72 point.
Okay, that's right. So let's just do 1 through 10 today. You guys will probably get this done pretty quick.
Yay.
Ouch!
Oh,